Hello YouTube, you know Milliput that sponsor this channel? They've only gone and asked me to design them a character. I actually started by doing 10 different characters, so this is number 1. I called him Mr. Too Tough or Mr. Double Strength or Mr. Stronger. Then I did this one, the Milliput Martian, just because I like Martians and it begins with M. I thought he was pretty cool. Then I did number 3. That was this guy, Milliput Monkey. Who doesn't like a monkey? There have been monkeys used over and over again for multiple different companies, but I thought he was pretty cool. Then I did number 4, Milliput Monster, Mr. Monster, or Make and Mend Monster. Who doesn't love a monster? For number 5, I just experimented with a couple of faces where I was kind of warping the box just in interesting ways. I just thought I'd call him Mr. Milliput. Then for number 6, I did this guy just using the two different coloured stripes of Milliput, just kind of bent around itself. I thought he was quite a cool shape. Then I did number 7, looking like a bit of putty that's been kind of pulled at the top and stretched a bit. Just called him Mr. Milliput, Milliputty, or Mr. Mould Me. Number 8 is the 2 sticks of Milliput, and then I've used the sticks again for the arms, and he stood on a Milliput box. I called him Mr. Milliput or Mr. Two Sticks. Then for number 9, I decided to twist the 2 sticks of Milliput around themselves and call him either Mr. Twist, Mr. Twisty, or Mr. Twisty Two Sticks. For number 10, I cut a little bit out of the box to make it look a bit like a cape, and then the 2 sticks of Milliput form his legs, and then they go up to form his arms as well. I just did those original 10 character designs on A4 size watercolour paper. They went for this design, number 8, which is definitely the friendliest looking of all of them. This was my larger, more refined version of him, done on mountboard using acrylic paint and rotring pens to do the outlining. I then scanned him in and took him into Photoshop to do a high resolution version that can be used for all kinds of different products. That was the first part of my commission complete. For the second part of my commission, I had to make a large 3D model of him. Obviously, I didn't want to make him completely solidly out of Milliput because he would have weighed an absolute ton. So I started with a couple of drain pipes, which I bent using a hairdryer. I had to heat the tubes up at multiple points and then just bend it gradually to get the curves. For the Milliput box that he's going to stand on, I just used canvas boards that I cut to size like this and then just stuck using duct tape. This is really just to give me a starting point, and at this stage it is fairly strong but also fairly flimsy, so lots and lots will be done to strengthen this. Notice firstly the gentle curve at the bottom of the box, but also notice that I've added some forced perspective on the edges. So it slants downwards there and it slants backwards. But like I say, that's forced perspective. It's quite an easy technique to do the forced perspective, but it makes it look a lot more dynamic when you're viewing it from the front. My plan with a lot of this model was to coat it with kitchen paper and PVA glue. I use wood flooring PVA glue because it's extra tough. And it's a bit like using paper mache. You build up layer after layer, and because the glue is quite sort of rubbery, it adds a lot of flexibility to the whole thing. Right, the next thing I needed to do was to join the 2 drain pipes together using Milliput. I just used silver grey Milliput for this, and you can see I just literally attached the 2 bits. I've kind of pushed out a little bit from the middle, but again, this will all be coated with kitchen paper and PVA glue at some point. I am going to be adding a layer of the Milliput over all of the drain pipe, the whole thing, just to cover it completely, and then I can add texture and things into that. It also needs to kind of thicken, but you can see at the moment there is a bit of a gap, and I need to get that gap correct before I do the next stage, which is to add some of the kitchen paper and PVA glue again, just over where this joint is, where I've joined the 2 tubes together with the Milliput. So I just start by tearing a whole load of strips of kitchen paper, and they're all kind of ready to go, just like this. And literally I'm going to just paint glue onto this tube, stick the bit of kitchen paper over the top like that, and then add more glue and just keep building it up and building it up right over where that joint is, because that joint needs to be like the strongest bit on the whole sculpt. Okay, you can see what it ended up looking like. Lots of layers of PVA glue. This is still looking white at the moment, so it hasn't quite dried fully. But I just wrapped it over and over and over again. So it's probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 layers of kitchen paper and loads of PVA glue. When that dries, it will be slightly flexible, but really, really, really strong. Right, on the base, I coated it with some kitchen paper and PVA glue as well. But then on the inside, I've put some battens in. This is just the first batten with some plywood, and then I just screwed it in place. And I put another batten on the other side and lots of extra supports and things on the inside of this box just to really make it stronger. This is already really strong, but I will continue to add more layers of kitchen paper and PVA glue. I also plan to cover up all the screws at the end with some cardboard. I'll probably use mount board and I'll cut the shapes and I'll stick them over the top. And then I'll do more layers of kitchen paper and PVA glue. It's all about layering with this sort of thing. Okay, I needed to make some kind of posts to go into the legs. Those posts are then going to go into holes on the base so he can just slot in and out. I don't want him to be permanently fixed to the base. I want him to be able to be taken in and out so it's easier for transportation. You can see how I just screwed into the side of these tubes and into those blocks at the tops of these leg posts. Okay, this is just attaching the arms, and you can see, again, I'm just starting with something simple. I've just used some kitchen rolls, or they're actually like tubes from the inside of aluminium foil, so they're a little bit tougher than just kind of standard kitchen roll tubes. But I'm just sticking them on with a bit of duct tape to start with, and then by the time you go over the top again with layers of kitchen paper and PVA glue, it makes it really, really strong. It's really nice at this stage to be able to get a sense of how tall he's going to be, and also just to see how wide the base is and just to look at the overall proportions and check that he's going well. Right, remember I said I was going to use mount board to cover the box. These are the bits of mount board that I've cut to size. These are going to go on the ends, and these are going to be the front and the back. It's pretty precision cutting to get the curve and everything for these, but it'll be definitely worth it. It will cover up all of these screws and it will look nice and crisp. Right, we'll skip forward a little bit because there was quite a bit of time involved between this stage and this stage, which is where I've covered the whole of him with some Milliput. He's now really quite heavy. The base you can see I've covered with kitchen paper and PVA glue. Where it looks a little bit brown at the front is because I put it near my fire to kind of dry it a bit quicker, and it burnt a little bit. But it doesn't matter because I painted it white, covered it with more kitchen paper and PVA glue, and then it ends up looking like this. Nice and strong, nice and firm, and you can see I've gone over the Milliput with more Milliput, made it even wider, got a much better shape. I'd also sanded it a lot at this point just to get the curves looking a bit more kind of refined. And then I'm going to go over the whole of him with kitchen paper and PVA glue to give it some texture and a bit of extra kind of strength as well. So with the kitchen paper added, it looks like this. And obviously Milliput doesn't need any extra strength because it's Milliput, it's like rock. But I think coating it with a layer of kitchen paper and PVA glue is a good idea. Firstly, it gives it the texture, so it looks more like actual sticks of Milliput. But secondly, it's a kind of a rubbery layer. It's quite nice to have that kind of flexible layer on the outside. Right, at this stage, before I started doing any of the sculpting of like things like eyes or his mouth or facial features, I decided I was going to start painting bits of him. So I started by spray painting the base white. I just used flexible car spray for this. After this was fully dried, I used masking tape to mask off all of the areas that I wanted to protect and keep white. This box has to have red edges to it. I then spray painted it red, and you can see this is what it looked like. It's still got the masking tape on at this point, just so that I could show you what it looks like. But you can see that once that comes off, you get these nice kind of edges. And I'm hoping that I'll get a really nice crisp edge all the way around this whole box. I'll show you how that turns out later, but first I wanted to make the eyes and show you that. The eyes are pretty tricky because I wanted them to be really nice and dead smooth. The way I did it was to make some very rough oval shapes to start with, and then use sandpaper to sand them and get them really, really nice and smooth. Then I spray painted them white, and that made them look even smoother. You can see that I painted the 2 sticks of Milliput. I actually end up changing those later on because I'm not happy with them. But for now, I sculpt his mouth. Now, the mouth was quite tricky because in the picture, it looked like it could be fairly flat. And I tried doing it fairly flat and it just didn't work at all. He needed a bit more form to him to make him more of a character. So I made his lips just a little bit bigger and I made his cheeks stick out a little bit more as well. It just adds to the kind of cuteness factor of him. This was me going over the Milliput again with the kitchen paper and PVA glue. It just gives the same texture as the rest of the sticks of Milliput. I then painted his mouth and his cheeks to match the surrounding area, and then I went over the whole of that with some more PVA glue. You can see the PVA glue looks white still here, but it dries clear, and that just protects the paint and stops it from scraping off. Another thing that I needed to do was to make him a set of eyebrows. Now, obviously, on the illustration, his eyebrows float above his head, and I needed a way to get them to do that. I was going to use acrylic rods, clear acrylic rods, to give the effect, but for now I had to make the actual eyebrows. I started with 2 bent pieces of wire like this, and then I just sculpted the milliput over the top. The wires just strengthen the milliput and stop the eyebrows from kind of breaking in the middle. Next, I coated the eyebrows with kitchen paper and PVA glue, then painted them, drilled a couple of holes, added the acrylic rods, and they end up looking like this. These are the finished eyebrows. They can be taken in and out. So after some finishing touches like peeling the masking tape off the base, repainting him, making his pupils, painting them black, painting his smile black, we have the finished Mr. J.R. Puttyman. So although I have been giving him various names throughout the whole design process, I think his name was always going to be J.R. Puttyman. And the reason is because Stephen Atherton, the guy who is my contact at Milliput, his grandfather is the guy that invented Milliput, and his initials were JR. So this is a nice nod to his grandfather, the inventor of Milliput. And he's just a really, really friendly looking character. I think he's going to look amazing as the sort of new face of Milliput. This has turned out to be a really great, really big sculpture, and I think it's going to look great wherever it ends up going. This weekend, I'm going to be going to Makers Central at Birmingham NEC, and the stand next to mine is the Milliput stand, where I will be delivering this to Mr. Stephen Atherton, and he will be putting this on his Milliput stand. So everybody at the show will be able to see the new face of Milliput, Mr. J.R. Puttyman. Can you see, by the way, these nice curves of the Milliput sticks? That's all turned out really well, and it looks just like my original illustration, which is what I'm most pleased about. I obviously have to give an absolutely massive thank you to Stephen Atherton because he didn't need to choose my channel to sponsor. He could have sponsored somebody with loads of subscribers, you know, like somebody with like 1 million subscribers instead of me, who's got like a couple of thousand. But he chose me and he allowed me to design his character and he allowed me to make his character, and also it's going to end up on lots of different merchandise as well. And so I just really want to thank him for the opportunity to come up with this character. He just looks amazing. I'm really pleased with him, and I hope Stephen is too. Stephen hasn't even seen this yet, this model. and he won't see it until I actually take it to the show at Birmingham NEC. In the meantime, have a look at this. He's had some mugs made with J.R. Puttyman on, and I think he looks really cute on the little mug as well. And he's also had some hoodies made, and for the show, he's had some coasters done and some stickers. I think in time for Christmas, he's going to have some beanie hats made as well. And yeah, just keep an eye out in the future because there's bound to be lots of other products. What I really love about these hoodies, not that I'm kind of biased in any way, is not only the fact that they are really, really comfy. This is definitely the most comfy hoodie that I've ever had. It's also the fact that the little cords hang down and Mr. J.R. Puttyman looks like he's kind of reaching up to try and get the cords. I just think it makes him look particularly cute. Anyway, if you're going to Makers Central at the weekend, then go to the Milliput stand, check out a lot of these products and things, and check out obviously the original model of Mr. J.R. Puttyman, just so you can see him for yourself in the flesh. And if you're not going to Makers Central, what's wrong with you? You've got to be there. It's really cool. There's so much going on. I am taking all my monsters with me, or as many as I can fit into a van, and I would love to meet you all there. By the way, this is Mr. J.R. Puttyman put in his travel box, all packed up, ready to go to the show. Like I say, Stephen Atherton hasn't even seen him yet. He's trusted me. He's even paid me for the sculpt in advance. He has no idea what this guy looks like. He just trusts me for some reason. That is how much of a nice guy this Stephen Atherton from Milliput is. This is what the box looks like in its box, all ready to go as well. I can't wait to give this to him, and I just really hope that he's pleased with it. Let me know what you think of my efforts in the comments. Hit subscribe to see anything that I post in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.